It will never say, I will convert a church to anything. It's not your business when you are in government.
Going to convert any church to anything. I've not heard that, except nobody said they were going to convert any church to anything.
Yeah, but I am a workaholic. But you know what? Prayer is my power. Because you can work all this work, but you are not progressing. You don't have the right to come out and say you will convert. You will convert. If anybody wants to be praying all his life, it's nobody's business.
Yes. So this is what I is that you have a right to pray, but if they can remove your body, some of the things that you pray for, you don't need to pray for them. You can pray for others. That's it. That's what the whole thing. Continue this conversation.
We live largely in a very unproductive society. That's why the only thing that is attractive is politics and church. You need to dismantle it. And we're going to turn night vigil into night shift so people can be productive. I go to church, I believe in God. Yes. But we cannot have people Monday to Friday be in church morning and night. No. If I go from here now to my house, the only signboard you see is signboard of churches. That's not the country. If you go to any other country, you see product.
Yes, please. We should encourage more prayers. Because if we have genuine men of God, genuine Christians, genuine Muslims, our problem will be solved.
Okay.
Not less of people. And they are looking for people of character. But let me say this. I do not belong to the category of people who said they want to turn night vigil to night shift. No. What we are suffering in Nigeria is not too much church or too much mosque. As a matter of fact, I wish that the church and the mosque should be in every house in Nigeria. What we are suffering from is too much fake church, too much fake pastors, too much fake imams, too much fake mosques. If we had genuine churches and mosques, we would not be having the problem we have in Nigeria. I'll give you an example. In the olden days, the most efficient president known in the ancient world was a prophet of God. His name is Prophet Daniel. Prophet Daniel was employed because he had the knowledge, the skill in arts, in science. And in addition, he was a man of God who had understanding of visions and dreams. Prophet Daniel prayed not less than 3 times a day. Yet he did not stop him from being efficient in his work. Let me tell you something about being close to God. Prayer. And if you're genuine in the worship of God and prayer and closeness to God helps you to be more efficient in your work. Because you will be morally sound and do everything in the fear of God. Before I became very close to God, I was a night crooner. And one of the most popular nightclubs in Lagos was called Night Shift. So I had to turn my own night shift to night vigil to begin to acquire the level of wisdom and understanding that is helping me now to be efficient and effective in the work I do. Daniel served 4 kings and all of them put him as president. Meanwhile, he was a slave boy captured from Judea and taken to Babylon. And they said because of his commitment to efficiency, honesty, and skill of doing his work, that he was 10 times more knowledgeable than all the men in the kingdom of Nebuchadnezzar. And that was why he lifted him up. Now, look at this. Do you know that people became jealous of him, the indigents, and they conspired against him? And they say, we can't find corruption in this man. We can't find anything to hold against him. The only thing we can hold against him is against his God and his religion. And they said, we know that he prays every time. If we can make it illegal, that prayer will become illegal. We will catch him. And they deceived the king. And the king made a law, you cannot pray for 1 month. And Daniel went ahead and continued praying and continued doing night vigil. And they went and arrested him and put him in the lion's den. Do you know the king did not know that they were targeting Daniel? Do you know when they put Daniel in the lion's den, the king himself observed night vigil for Daniel, and the mouth of the lions were shut. And the next day in the morning, they went and Daniel said God sent his angels to close the mouth of the lions. And they brought him out. And those people that said they should put him in the lion's den, they put those ones in the lion's den, and the lion ate all of them up. There is a place for prayer. It does not stop you from being efficient in your work. It helps you to be efficient. But let me point out, I always point out criminality, immorality, and illegality anywhere it is found, whether in the church or in the mosque.
Hello, I hope it's not my network.
That is our problem. Our problem is hypocrisy, is psychopathy, is corruption, is illegality, it's criminality, and it's incompetence. So please, we should encourage more prayers, because if we have genuine men of God, genuine Christians, genuine Muslims, our problem will be solved.
Okay.
Not less of it.
Oh, okay. So let me quickly address that issue of night vigil and night shift, because for my own understanding of it, I am an employer of labor, and I've come across a lot of people who will leave the office and tell you they are going for one thing or the other. Or some of them, even during interviews, they will tell you, oh, on Wednesdays we don't come for work, on these days we don't do this or one thing. The issue of Daniel that you did mention, Daniel did not allow his prayers to affect his job. That's the big difference. A lot of people go on these things and they allow it to affect their jobs. Like I remember tweeting that I said, look, if you are working for me as an employee, you are going to pray. Okay, there was someone who said, oh, Muslims pray five times a day. And I said, you're working for me and you're praying 5 times a day. God knows God is going to be the one to pay your salary. Definitely not me, because you won't be working for me again. So that's where the difference is. It's not, yes, people need to pray more. Leaders that will pray more help. But when you are allowing your prayers have left your private business and it's not affecting the business of others, it is no longer what we will take as saying, oh, this is what people will do. The same thing also when it comes to these churches. You did mention it's we have a lot of fake imams and fake pastors. I totally agree with you on that one. But because of the fact that there is incentive for that fakeness, and that's why you have a lot of these mosques and a lot of these churches all over the place. Everybody wants to get money. I mean, the easiest way to get people's 10% is by opening a church. And you have something there. The easiest way that you have people come and be meeting you to give you sadaqah, give you all sorts of money, is by becoming a malam, having your turban and stuff like that. So that's where the difference is. So if you keep your prayers, your everything private, then it doesn't have to affect the national issue that we have. And that was what Daniel was able to do. In spite of the fact that he was someone who was very religious, but at the same time, he was someone also who was able to make his religion his private issues while he was managing the public interest that he was managing. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
Yes,
let me first of all say that I agree with you completely in what you say. And if anybody who is working for you and during working hours, it tells you he wants to pray, please sack that person immediately. Anybody who is supposed to be reading his books and he's telling us that he is reading his Bible or Quran, he will go to the school and fail woefully. So I want you to understand the difference. The difference is that the Bible says they that should worship God should worship him in truth and in spirit. Anybody who is telling you he wants to pray when he's supposed to work, he's a hypocrite. He's not a prayer warrior. Because prayer is meant to help you to be more efficient in your workplace, not to become a true hand. That person that is telling you that his prayer does not cross ceiling, because you will not use the time you're paid for, where you're getting your source of livelihood, to say you're praying. No. Aisha, please, this thing I'm going to say, I don't know whether it is true or not. I want to talk about Islam, so you will correct me on that. But I know that some of my friends in Islam have told me that the prophet recognized that at times it might be impossible for you to pray, and then you will shift it. And when it is possible for you to pray, you will now pray for those ones you did not pray before. I don't know whether it is true or not.
It
but
is
I
true.
know